Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Ray. Thanks for joining me. Guys, I got a treat for you guys out there. All right, this is the most detailed video you will find on YouTube on how to install the VanTop rear camera mirror in your Super Duty. All right, guys, I picked this up. It took me a few days to get this installed. And the reason why, because of certain parts you need. Guys, there's going to be a detailed list of all the parts you need so you can get this done in one day. All right? So I did all the homework for you. All right? And what we have here, we have a rear camera that's to the back and a front camera. All right, guys, I'm going to tell you, this is a must-have for the Super Duties out there. If you got a big truck, you must get a camera like this. All right? As you know, when we drive these trucks, especially the Tremor, how you sit high up and there's a big blind spot in the back, this camera will eliminate that. All right, guys, please like, subscribe. Please consider using the affiliate link below. Again, it will have all the parts or everything that you need to install this thing. All right, I did all the work for you. It took me a few days to get this installed, actually a week to get installed because certain parts I didn't have. So all the mistakes I make and all the tips, I'm gonna give it to you on how to install this. All right, please consider like, subscribe, and let's get into the video. Let's go. So let's just get it open. Enough of me talking and see how it looks. All right, so just pick this up. Let's cut it all open and get it going, guys. And if you do have other cameras that you're using, hit me down the link and let me know what you like about it, what you don't like about it. All right, get a little conversation going on. Okay, so this is how it comes, very well packed. Let's pull this off. I really like this. And by my research on doing this is a lot of technology is built into this rear camera. It really is. And that what, again, really attracted me to this version. Again, we have a big old truck. And again, we don't have the cameras that's on the trucks are not, you can't record on it. All right. It's excellent when we're parking and pulling up at slow speeds. I usually turn on my camera so I can see the front, back. When I'm backing up everything, love it. But again, when we go into motion forward, we weren't able to see anything on those cameras, and it's pretty much a waste. It's very disappointing, and I wish we could. But this is pretty much how it looks, guys. It comes in a box just like this, very well packed, very well protected. Let's put this to the side. Very nice, very nice. All right, guys, I'm gonna just give you a quick look at it. Actually, it's this way. All right, that's the front of it. All right, this is pretty much eye candy for you guys out there. A closer look on how it looks. Let's turn it around this way. This is your rear. This is, of course, your camera there. The top of it. Here's the bottom of it. Very nice. First impressions, very nicely made. Nice large mirror, which I like. Just for the mirror itself, I like that. And again, for Super Duty, it's gonna fit perfectly because again, we have a big truck. You need big stuff on it, and all your cables are on the bottom. So let's open this up here and let's see what's in the bottom of this. We have our straps they give us. We have 1, 2, 3. We should have a fourth one in here someplace. There he goes. So we have 4 straps. This is very easy to mount. They give you a cloth. Got plenty of these to help clean it. Package with all your cables. This is your GPS they already give you. And this is for your cigarette lighter. All right, regular cigarette lighter, USB, regular mount right here. So again, I won't be using this because I'm gonna be using hard wiring. That kit is coming soon. All right, to help me hardwire. Actually, it's supposed to be arriving today in the mail. This here is the rear camera. All right, so you can mount this by screwing it, or they give you adhesive, so you put that on there to help get it mounted. So the real camera, I gotta really figure out where I'm gonna put it. If I'm gonna put it in the cab to look back, or should I be close, try to snake it underneath the bed and mount it in the rear so I really get a true rear look of the back. So this, I'm not sure how I'm gonna do. I'm trying to figure out as I go, but I'm gonna take you along and show you how I'm doing it. And that's pretty much it, guys. This is the pretty much look of it. And the GPS, long enough adhesive that you can just mount it onto your windshield. But that's pretty much it, guys. So enough of me talking. Let's take this out to the truck and let's get it installed. All right, so let's go. Now again, mounting the rear camera, I think this is the most challenging about this setup, of trying to figure out where you're gonna put your cameras. Now once I'm decided, I'm gonna put it there. Now I'm gonna run all the wires underneath, and it's ideal here because then I can use the red wire to tap into my rear reverse lights to activate the camera when I reverse. So it's gonna work out well in this direct position. Now let me show what we're doing inside. All right, and then again, guys, this only pertains to my version of what I'm doing with my truck, all right, which is the Ford. So once we get the camera up here, all right, the mirror up here, you have to run your cables. My fuse box, or our fuse box is over here to get our power. USB power is gonna run underneath the head lining, come over, drop down, tap into the fuse box. For the rear camera, you're gonna have to go the opposite direction. Run it underneath your headliner. Very easy to pull back, put your wires up. Come over here and take this pillar off. Now, it's not a big deal, guys. All you need is a 10mm socket, all right? And you're gonna be removing these two nut screws. They are in this area, so use the little spongy or whatever they call this, a little panel remover. You can use that, pry this little thing up off, and it'll expose the screws right here. All right, you got two of them, the top and bottom. Once you unscrew those two screws, they're right here. The mounting points are right here and right here. This comes right off. You're gonna pull towards you and lift it right out, and it's gonna expose the whole A pillar. All right, so once the A pillar is exposed, run your wire from here over here and drop it down. Now you might have some clips in, which is ideal. Put it in here and here, and then you're pretty much gonna drop it right down here. Once you do that, you're gonna move it. Also have another panel remove right here. Again, all these things pulled right out. Use the little, have some panel removers, or use the one they gave you. Excuse me, guys, I'm sorry. Right here, and these are gonna pop right out. All right, and the tabs are right here. Just little pull out tabs. Take your time. Very easy to remove. All right, put it to the side, and now you got everything exposed so you can drop your wires in. All right, and it's gonna come underneath here. What we're gonna do, we're gonna go through the firewall. All right, and let me see if I could show you. Turn some lights on. Let me show you what we're doing. We're gonna be going right through here. All right, this goes through the firewall to run our wires. Once we get through this little area here with our wires, then we can simply, we'll be coming through here. All right, this location here. All right, guys, just to recap, get that little wiring extension here. Get one of these things. I'll put one in description if you're interested in picking one up. Fish it through that location. As you can see, it's coming through there. Attach it to this wire here so you can fish it back through the firewall. All right, guys, so what I'm gonna do now is get this set up so I can fish it through. I find by using some electrical tape to protect your wire so it goes through nice and easy. You don't want to damage this thing. And all you're gonna do is just simply just go over with the electrical tape. Try not to make it too thick, because then it'll be kind of hard to get it through there, but thick enough that it won't slide off like that. All right, so just like that. All right, hope you guys can see that. Okay, guys, now we're gonna feed it back. Now I'm gonna give you a little tip, guys. All right, again, this is just my advice. Take it if you want to or not. Try to put like a coat of oil here or some Vaseline, or if you have electrical grease, even better. Whatever, just to make this just lubricate this, all right? So when you pull it through, back through that rubber spot, it's just a little more, it just makes it much easier for it to slip in. And you know what I'm talking about. You know, back in the days when we used to do with the Vaseline, yeah, right? I digress. Ooh, reminiscing. Anyway, all right, just lube this up a little bit so it'll slip in nice and easy, nice and easy. All right, so let me get this done. All right, to put this through. All right, guys, I just want to show it to you. And as you can see right there, guys, it came through nice and easy. And all you're gonna do is just pull it all the way through. All right, to fish that wire. All right, so I'm just gonna get that done, get this fish through, so I can get this rear camera hooked up. So I'm gonna keep on. I'll pick it up underneath the truck once I get this all wired, all fished through and cleaned up. All right. Okay, guys, I got my wire all the way fished through. Now we're gonna drop it down underneath the truck. Now the best way to do this, in my opinion, is you're gonna drop it. I don't know if you guys can see this, but you'll see it on your truck. If you go toward this direction over here, right above here, you're gonna drop right behind the front wheel well. All right, there's a space. So just drop it down there so it's away from everything. And then we're gonna marry it up to another cable that's going to the rear of the truck. So again, it's right through there. So let me just get that done. All right, guys, I'm looking toward the front of the truck. All right, here's your mud flaps on your driver's side, and it's right here is where I'm fishing my wire, right from up there. Okay, I hope you can see that right from up there. So what I'm doing, just gonna bring it down. All right, bring it all down. And what we're gonna do, once you get it down here, we're gonna marry it up to this cable here. We're gonna zip tie it to this one all the way toward the rear. Okay, so that's how we're gonna do it. I hope this makes sense. If you guys get into your truck, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna keep on getting this done. All right, because there's a storm coming in. I'm trying to get this done, at least get the wiring laid out. So let me keep it moving. Okay, guys, I got the wire coming down, and what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna start to zip tie it up rear. But just to let you know, on this way I'm doing it, I'm coming up short on the end. It's not gonna reach the location when I need to hook the rear camera off to. So I'm not gonna finish this in time, so I'm just gonna wrap this up, just run as much as I can. All right, guys, we're gonna continue on. I'm still running the cable for the rear camera underneath the truck. Now, as I stated before, the existing cable they give you is not gonna be long enough.
It's going to end pretty much near the shock area. This is the driver rear shock, all right, or left rear wheel shock where I'm located, all right. And so this is where the cable is going to end. So it's definitely, it's not going to be long enough to reach to the camera, or at least where I'm putting my camera. So what you guys are gonna have to do, and I did the work for you, make sure you order the extended cable back camera. All right, again, I'll put a link below of all the parts you're gonna need, all the cables. I'm gonna do all the work for you, so you're not running back and forth to the store like I am, or ordering parts and waiting a couple of days to get everything there. All right, so again, it's called the extension cable for the backup camera. All right, so I'm gonna install this, and this is just gonna give me that extra few feet to install my rear camera. So let me continue with that, and make sure you guys, what I'm doing, you're gonna have to have zip ties also, so I'll put a link below. All right, zip ties, and make sure you tie everything up out of the way, especially if you're going to be doing extra work, or you're ever going to take your truck to a mechanic and they're going to put it on a lift. You just want to make sure you get all your cables up, tied away, so there's no accidents on them, clipping them or stripping them or whatever. Okay, so enough of me talking. Let's continue this installation of this this cable. Camera set up right there. I just used the adhesive to put it right there in the middle, so it's a good spot for it. Again, guys, when you fish it up, you're gonna have extra cable, just tie it up right there. Now later on I have to come back, and we're gonna attach that red wire to the reverse lights, so when you engage, the camera will engage the mirror in the front. Okay, so all you're gonna do now is simply gonna remove two screws, this one and this one, and I'm using I believe it's an 8mm, yes, 8mm socket. Okay, what we're gonna do is just gonna pull away from it and pull forward. All right, and this is our setup here. Now our reverse lights are gonna be this one below. All right, it's green in color. So what I'm gonna do is disconnect this. Probably can sit it off to the side. It's not gonna hurt it. All right, and this is the reverse. A few videos back, I showed you how to replace the reverse light with these nice LED ones, much brighter. Definitely recommend check out that video. All right, but what we're gonna do now, since it's the reverse light, we're gonna tap into one of these wires, and I believe it's the green wire. Okay, guys, I just want to let you know what I'm doing. I was able to test for power, and your green wire here is your power. All right, and if you don't know how to do it, pretty much you got these little tabs here. You can put your tab here, put a probe there, put it on ground, set it to DC volt, just like we did the other one, and you should get one, the power will come on, and another one will be ground. So just tap into the green one if you have a 2020 Tremor Super Duty, you should be all good. So that's what I'm gonna do. And what I'm gonna do, let me just shut off my car and put it back in park. Okay, so we identify our power. We're gonna put it on the green one that's right here. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna strip this back, and I'm gonna get a wire tap so I can get into this one. All right. Okay, guys. Once we got our wire, we're gonna take this red wire, and we're gonna attach it to this green wire. And the best way to do it is just use one of these wire taps here. Put it over the green wire. And all you need is take a needle nose, and you're gonna crimp it together. Testing my fit, make sure I got everything lined up properly. All right, and it's tapped in now. Okay, that's simple. And all I have to do now is just take this and cover it, just like that. All right, that's simple. It taps in. I'm gonna get electrical tape, wrap it, and that's it. All right, and plug everything back in. All right, so let me continue on. So that's how you install the rear camera and fish your wiring. So I'm gonna continue on with the inside. All right, guys, I got the rear cable camera going in, drop down underneath the truck. Now, simple, same thing, and run your cables from here, run it down here. You have to take this off, drop it down, and our fuse panels down there. So let me get that. To get this off, again, really simple. Take this little thing and you're gonna push forward. Take your time, just wiggle it out. There you go, okay? And remove those screws. So we're gonna do this one, and you're gonna do the one in the bottom. Force this in, it's gonna pop out, and there you go. So get your 10mm, remove this so we can get behind here, so when we run our wires, we can drop it behind this. Okay guys, go to the next step. We're gonna do the hard wiring kit to this whole setup. Now, when you get it, you're gonna get your directions, another pry tool, the wiring cable, which is the most important one, and some fuse tabs. All right, so all we're gonna do now, I'm just gonna show you how to run the wires. We're not gonna do the fuse tabs just yet. All right, so let me just show you how I'm running it. So you're gonna just take this end here, and you're gonna plug it in, and again, run it behind here, and drop everything behind the pillar, and then drop it behind to the fuse. To get to that, you're gonna have to remove, again, this, and we're gonna have to remove this. Now, to take this out, again, just like the other side, all right? So it's kind of hard to do it holding the camera and doing this at the same time, so I'm gonna pop this out. It's just a little pull tabs, get it out so you can get access, so when you drop your wires, you can see where it's being dropped. So let me get that going. All right, guys, we're up to the part now that we're gonna hardwire our camera to our truck. Now, I already went ahead to removing all of my panels, as you can see. Now, you're not gonna have a diagram like in some cars. They put a diagram here to tell you what fuse is what. What you're gonna have to do, and I'll put the page down, 1333 is the page number for your manual to tell you which fuses is what. All right, I'll do a quick screenshot of that page for you. All right, and we're gonna go right into it, guys. We're gonna identify a constant power when we hook up this wiring. Now, we're gonna be dealing with this fuse tab, the smaller one, or narrow one. All right, this is how it's gonna look. If you want to see the other fuse tab, I'll post a link to another video that I used as a reference, but we're just gonna go straight into how I'm installing it. So I'm not gonna waste my time about all the other fuse tab that we're not using. But this is the one we're gonna use. This is the type of fuses that we're having. We also have a triple fuse that this wiring doesn't accommodate, so we're not gonna deal with that. We're just gonna stay with this. I advise to have a voltmeter, and for those who don't understand how to use it, believe me, I'm a DIY first-time user. This is a little complicated to me also, but to just get to the point, and this is a cheap one, a Harbor Freight one. You're gonna turn it on, and we're gonna be measuring, if you don't remember from the high school days, DC volt. What you wanna do, you wanna put it on the lowest setting because we're looking for 12 volts. All right, you don't need it on the highest settings, just put it on number 20. Make sure it's hooked up to its respectful color ports, and you'll be good to go. Let me see if I can show you guys. Go right to the point. This is our ground, all right? So that's why we need to take the panel off to get to this ground, because we need to hook up a ground. Fuse panels right here. I'm gonna post another link of a nice reference video that explains fuse taps and explains a voltmeter, how to identify the constant switch on and the constant power flow, something to that effect. All right, forgive me if I'm butchering the terminology, but I'll reference those videos to help you out, which help me to understand what the heck I'm doing. All right, so once we identify the constant power, which I have in my truck, and I'm gonna point to it to see if you guys can see it. It's kind of tight fitting. I'm identifying this fuse right here, number 30, as my constant power. All right, I'm gonna be tapping into. All right, now your truck might be different, so be guided by your manual, or be guided by how you test it with the voltmeter. All right, So again, go do the extra steps, test it with the voltmeter, learn that process so you know what you're doing and understanding what you're doing. But I identify this fuse here as my constant power. All right, and I believe that is number 29 in the manual, which is, let me go to my manual, tells me the adjustable pedal switch, which makes sense because that always has power. You can adjust it as you go along. So that's what I'm gonna tap in for my constant power. Also, and that's the yellow wire. So therefore you can use the yellow wire and you're gonna get that fuse tap, connect those two. Remember that fuse that comes out of there at number 30 will go on the bottom. And the fuse that they give you, which is the number 15, will go on the top. So I'm gonna get that going and get that installed. Okay guys, I hope this is coming out. Now, first thing I'm gonna do with this, guys, we got 3 connections here. All right, we're gonna deal only with 2 right now. First thing we're gonna do, we're gonna hook up our ground. The ground is very simple. Just take it, unscrew this, which I already did. And this is a 1/2 inch socket. All right, so just unscrew it, take your ground, find a location to get this pressed in, and we're gonna tighten it back up. All right, that's it. All right, so that's connected to my ground. So that's one down. Now we're gonna have to take your yellow wire. Take your yellow wire and get your fuse tap, and you're pretty much just gonna insert it. Push the little sleeves out of the way, and then you can bring these little sleeves back over to cover it, so it's no shortage. That's simple. So we're gonna do that. Then, explained earlier, I'm tapping into this one here. All right, be guided by your own setup. Use your voltmeter to find out what is constant power. Also, it turns out my positive or my constant power is coming from the right. If you don't understand what I'm talking about, again, I'm gonna refer to the videos that help me understand this concept, all right? I'm not gonna explain it. My constant power is coming from the right. So I'm gonna make sure when I set up my tap, I'm setting it up in the way the constant power is over there, all right? Now, as I explained earlier, the fuse that goes to the accessories on top, I'm gonna remove this 30 amp, put that one in the bottom, and then plug that in. So let me get that done. Let me use my fuse remover tool here and just pull out. Okay, so I'll set up something like that, and I'm just gonna plug it in, and it looks something like that. All right, just make sure you get it all the way in. And in doing that, your device should come on, which mine has. So it's giving constant power to it now. Okay, and I'm just gonna set this over here, and that's that. So now that the constant is plugged in and the ground is plugged in, now we have this accessory has to be plugged in. Now, I don't know why they give it to you like this, because in our setup, we can't use this type of fuse. All right, we have a big one, like a 3-prong one here, and this is the mini here. That's the only type of fuses. So this is not gonna work in this current state. So I end up ordering some more taps, fuse taps. All right, I put a link below. I don't know if you guys can see this package, or it looks just like the one they give you. So what I'm gonna do now is simply, we're gonna cut this, strip this back, set it up just like this one. All right, very easy to do. Strip this back, set it up just like this one, and I'm gonna tap it in to one of, these are my accessory locations, meaning that when the ignition is off, no power is going through this. But when I turn the ignition on, then power will engage in this. And most likely I'm gonna use this 15 amp one here. All right, I have a couple of options. I can use the 20, the 15, and the 30. All right, so most likely I'll just match it to the 15. So let me continue on that off camera. Once I get this stripped back, we'll plug it in, and then we should be done. Okay guys, I said I wasn't gonna show you how to strip that, but I decided just for the DIYers, all right, for the first timers, all right, who never done this before, might need some extra help instruction how to get it done. Decide to show you how it's done. It's not that hard. All right, what you're gonna need, you need some wire cutters. All right, something similar to this. All right, what you're simply gonna do is you're gonna line up the numbers here. This is the gauge, how thick that wire is. This is a small wire, so I'm assuming this is about probably a 16, so it makes it much easier to strip it. So what we're gonna do now, we're just gonna cut this end, all right, because you're not, at least in the Ford Super Duties, we can't use this part here. So your best just to cut it off. We're not gonna use it, all right? So you use the wire cutters right here, pop it off, all right? Throw that to the side. So now we're simply gonna strip this back, all right? 16, move it around a couple of times. All right, maybe it's more of an 18, not 16. So I stand corrected. Let's put it on. All right, see how they just stripped it off. If you don't have a decent pair of electrical tools for your DIYs, you guys, they're lifesavers. You should invest your money. You don't use it that often, but when you need it, you're glad you have it. So I'll put a link below of a basic set below that you can pick up. Add it to your toolbox. All right, it's all about the tools, guys and gals. All right, you can have the knowledge, but if you don't have the tools to get the job done, it's just gonna be that much harder. And that's it. We're gonna strip it back and then have about that. All right, next step. Again, guys, this is for the beginners. So those who are experienced, stop hating, just relax. Let me just get through this. Show the first timers how to do it. All right, bring them along. All right, what you're gonna do before you do anything, make sure you put your little sleeve on. All right, that goes on first, and then you're just gonna line this up with this. All right, and all you're gonna do is you're gonna crimp it. Now, being that this is so thin, I'm just gonna fold it over to get a little more thickness to it. And what you want to do, you just want to make sure you got a good connection. Okay, guys, I got it crimped. I'm sorry I had to pause for a second, kind of at a funky angle here. So I end up crimping it. That's how it's gonna look right there. Very easy to do. You see everything's lined up. So now you're done, all right, for converting this for a fuse tap. And now it looks like just the one they gave you, all right? And all you're gonna do is just plug it in. Make sure it's pushed in all the way in, like it so you got a nice connection. And you're gonna push that little plastic piece behind there, and we're wrapped, and then we're done. So now we're gonna take this here and plug it into our accessory. But first I'm gonna pull out the fuse that I'm gonna use to get that done. And what I'm gonna do, I just wanna swing this around so you guys can see what I'm doing. With this kit here, they give you a fuse puller right here, which is nice to have. Makes it much easier. I'm gonna pull my 30. Takes a couple of tries. Once you get there, you gotta pinch it. There you go, and pulled it out. Remember, when you put that on, the one that you pull goes on the bottom, okay? And the top one will be to the camera, which is 15. Okay, guys, as you can see, I replaced my fuse tap, plug it in, and we have both locations set up. All right, and again, this is for a Ford Super Duty. I'm pretty sure it can work for any other Ford if it's set up the same way. All right, so let me get up to the camera, plug it in, and see if this thing's work. All right, thank you. So stay with me. Okay, guys, I got everything sealed back up. Got all the covers put back on. All right, everything's nice and clean. Now, again, just to recap, I have my GPS already plugged in. I didn't show that part, guys, on video because it's a simple install. Plug it in where it says GPS. Run it the same way that you run your wires. Drop it down, and I drop mine right here. All right, and I'm gonna leave it right there. It's a dead space not being used. GPS has to face up toward the sky for a better signal. So that's it for that. And everything else is going the opposite direction. We have for rear cameras going that way. And for the power, you probably have to come this way and back around this way. All right, I hope that makes sense. And that's it, guys. It's done. Very good camera. All right, so that's the end of this installation video. I know it's kind of long. I'm glad you stayed with me, but I just want to be as much detail as possible to help you guys out. Guys, please, if you enjoyed this video, it was helpful, please consider like, subscribe, And I'll definitely check you out on the next one. Later. Okay, guys, what I want to show you a little footage of the camera. Now I'm looking on my PC laptop, which is required to use the software to view your footage. What I like about it, as you can see, it tracks you on GPS. Also, it gives you your speed and your direction. So it's definitely a nice little camera here, guys. And I really like it. My advice to you, though, put your screensaver on, because you'll find yourself looking at it and you don't want to get in an accident. So I pretty much have it on a minute screensaver. So when it shuts off, it's a simple mirror. I can look behind me. You can re-engage it if you want, but I found being a new toy, you don't want to get distracted. So put your screensaver on, use it as a normal mirror till you get used to it so you're not looking at it. Because I almost ran a light because I was, fascinated by the technology. So just a word of caution, all right? But overall, guys, this is how it looks. It's pretty good, and I like it. I really do, all right? But again, remember, you're going to need a Windows-based computer to utilize the software, or use Boot Camp on your Macs. All right, guys, I'm gonna end this. All right, I just want to add this little clip to you, let you guys see it. So like, subscribe, and I'll check you on the next one. Later.